Hello and welcome to 18 WJTS Inform. I'm your host, Bill Potter. We're going to meet a candidate running for Dubois County Council in District Number 3. Welcome to the studio, Deborah Major. Deborah, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
We're glad to have you here. And normally with all of our candidates, we first of all find out who you are. Tell us about yourself, please.
Well, I'm originally from Alabama. I have lived all over the South. I graduated from the University of Alabama. And I was there, just as a little interest section, when Paul Bear Bryant was coaching. So we won a lot of football. From Alabama, I went to North Carolina. And I was there for 5.5 years working in a hospital as a manager. It was small, so my next way to advance myself was to look for a larger facility, so that's how I got to Indiana. Okay. And I moved originally to Clark County. I worked at Clark Memorial Hospital. I became their director after about 4 years, and I was there for 17.5 years. So, and from there I went to industry. My first trial at that was GE Appliance Park. Which was interesting. I learned a lot. I worked with the union there. And then from there I came here to St. Meinrad Arch Abbey. And I ran their department for 13.5 years. So altogether, I've been in management about 37 years out of my 38 years since I got out of college. So I have a lot of experience in anything that has to do with department management, including the budgets and hiring, presenting new programs, revenue generation, how to train people. Matter of fact, while I was at Clark, I was I'm a good speaker. I can project. So I was selected to train people from all across every department in team management and in quality assurance standards. So I just, it came kind of natural to me, I guess.
Okay. Well, I guess that kind of then, what are your qualifications for office?
My qualifications for office, because the council deals in budgets, that is what I know a lot about. I know a lot about budgets. What piqued my interest for the council seat was when they did the wage study. And I was instrumental in a wage study at Clark Memorial Hospital also, setting the parameters for how you rate different jobs. And I was beginning to end in that process. So when that caught my interest, then I started looking at the council seat for what other things that they do. And I'm very strong in budget making, and I'm also very strong in cost-benefit analysis. So for me, county departments, if they want to do something new or add something, cost-benefit analysis is the way to go, simply because even though a county department may not be generating any money, they may be consuming money, but they're generating a service. Mm-hmm. So if a department manager was purchasing a new piece of equipment because it was going to increase their productivity, it was going to do a process for less money, that's the benefit. And you can equate that in money, the money spent to the money saved or the increased service to the county. So those are my strengths. I can look at those things. I understand those things. I've also been through quite a few construction projects in places that I've worked. So, for instance, the county's going to be facing a jail, a new building or add-on or whatever that is decided to do. But I'm familiar with that. I can look at blueprints and see problems because I have found many problems in blueprints. Well, people don't think about, well, let me say, architects don't always think about the day-to-day uses of a particular spot in a building. You know, they may not be totally familiar with that. So that's where having an eye for the use of a particular spot, even if it's simple like an office or one of the problems I found in a construction project I had a room for supervisors to work. And I wanted them to be able to always see what was going on. So where I wanted them to be was in front of a big window that started at desk height and went up, that they could see out into the work area. So the architects, to fit those 3 people in that spot, adjusted their file drawers, let me say that.
Okay.
To the point where they couldn't put paper in them.
So a lot of good they do.
Yeah, so you had a nice little drawer there. You could stick your purse in it, I guess, or whatever else you had, but it couldn't fit a file folder. So we adjusted them a little further. So at least between people, there was 2 drawers that could fit files. And then on the other sides of them, they were narrower and fit odds and ends.
So I mean, you've dealt with this. Those would be great qualifications.
This.
What are other things that the county's going to probably, other than the jail, I guess, and the wage situation that may be coming up for the county council?
Well, I think there's, I'm not sure what all the departments are thinking of right at this moment. But I know because I'm a news junkie, I read a lot. For the highway department, for instance, there is different methods of paving using other materials that save money. So, you know, that certainly is something that they can think about. And it's being able to take in all parts of an idea and coming up with the best solution to it. Asking the right questions because you're an informed person. Those are things I bring to the table. I mean, I might not know about exactly what a department, you know, the nuts and bolts of that department, but I can become informed enough to ask questions and, you know, bring out the department's ideas and help everybody understand it more.
Now, you're running for an office that is in a district, so it's not everybody in Dubois County will vote.
Right.
In yours. I think we had the at-large a couple of years ago. There might be one, okay. But for you, you're District 3. What is District 3 for the County Council?
District 3 starts just to the west of St. Henry. It includes all of Ferdinand and everything east. So you go from Ferdinand to Jefferson and Jackson, which is St. Anthony and Birdseye. And you go on up to Marion, Hall, and Columbia. So I go, including Schnellville to Celestine to just south of Dubois. It includes all the way up to Cusco.
It's a long stretch.
It's a long stretch. It's a lot of miles to cover.
Well, what would possess somebody to run for office?
You know, until recently, I really hadn't thought about running for office. But I've always been a political junkie. So I've thought about politics. I've thought about what goes on in politics and how it affects me. So I thought, well, like I said, when I read about some of the things the council was doing, it just sparked my interest in as to whether that would be something I could do or wanted to do. So I started talking to people about it. And then the more I talked about it, then people started thinking about me for that. So in the Democrat Party, because that's the party I'm running for. And so, you know, it was just something that I kind of not fell into. I just put a lot of thought into it. And I've been thinking about it for a while. You know, this wasn't the first year I thought about it. But it is the first year I decided I really was ready to put my foot into it because I've got time. I retired a couple of years ago. I have the time and still have a lot of energy into devoting to this position. So if it's spending time in departments, getting to know folks, I've got the time to do that. I don't have to excuse myself from a job. If it's going somewhere for additional training, I've got time to do that. I've got time, I just have time to devote to it. That's what I have, along with the knowledge that I've got.
Well, now we're going to wrap this up by letting you just say right to the voters
Okay.
that are watching why they should vote for Deborah Major.
I think people should vote for me because I am interested in the county budget being equitable throughout the county, being spent wisely, using the money that they have, which is our money. I pay taxes and everybody else pays taxes. I want those dollars spent wisely. I want them thought about and being used for a really good purpose wherever that they're used, smartly.
All right, well, Deborah, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
It's been a pleasure to get to know you. We hope that you have learned something about Deborah Major running for Dubois County Council District Number 3. Remember, early voting goes on all the way through November 6th, or you can vote on Election Day the old traditional way. But please make sure that you vote. Our guest has been Deborah Major running for Dubois County Council District Number 3. I'm Bill Potter. Thanking you for watching WJTS Inform. We're local people watching local people.